Hello everyone. I want to thank a friend of mine on Facebook. He puts out a lot of interesting things and he has done a lot of research. And this is one of his research. When do you know a person when they're really being persecuted from someone else is being forced to do stupid things to be persecuted? Well, we know from the Bible students teaching from Charles T. Russell, they really have not been persecuted compared to Jehovah's Witnesses. You may wonder why. Well, because Jehovah's Witnesses broke away from Charles T. Russell's teaching and they formed, which I have few people disagree with me, but it's the truth, they formed a new religion. Because think about it, there was no Jehovah's Witnesses before 1931. They was all called Bible students. So yes, with the helper hand of Judge Ruckford, they changed the name, which part of them did, percentage, changed the name to Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's what they are today. But my friend put something up on on his Facebook. This is a woman who was really persecuted compared to Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what I said. This woman was persecuted because her family was a Christian, not a Jehovah's Witness that claimed to be a Christian. So I'm going to play something here, and we will go from there.
To you, Goji, for your leadership and your vision, because without your vision and your work together, this would not have taken place today. Thank you. I come before you here today as a survivor of Islamic terrorism. I was 10 years old when Islamists blew up my home, burying me under the rubble wounded. My only crime was that I was a Christian. At 10 years old, I learned the meaning of the word infidel. I had a crash course in survival, living in a dark, cold bomb shelter, drinking stale water, and having grass and dandelions for food. At the age of 13, I dressed in my burial clothes, waiting to be slaughtered. And by the age of 20, I had buried most of my friends killed by Muslims. When I was growing up, I knew that only three kinds of people existed in the world: killers, victims, and bystanders. The lesson I learned gave me a fierce determination to fight evil and become a passionate leader against apathy and indifference. Today, throughout the world, more Christians are persecuted for their religion than any other religious or ethnic group. Approximately 200 million Christians in 60 countries are oppressed, abused, murdered solely because they are Christians. But it is in the Muslim world where the genocide has begun. 14 of the world's 15 most repressive countries for Christians are Muslim countries: Somalia, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Sudan, Iran, Pakistan, Eritrea, Nigeria, Maldives, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Yemen, and Uzbekistan. 36 of the worst 50 are Muslim countries, including Qatar, Egypt, the Palestinian Authority territories, Jordan, Algeria, Tunisia, Malaysia, Turkey, and Indonesia. In many of these countries, churches are bombed or burned while worshippers are inside. Christians are kidnapped, brutalized, raped, mother searching for her kidnapped son. ISIS fighters gave her some meat to eat and water to drink. When she asked about her son, they answered laughing, "You've just eaten him." I could cite hundreds of examples, each more stomach-churning than the one before. But I'll provide one example, horrific but also inspiring. In Iraq, 4 Christian children, all of them under 15, were abducted by ISIS and given a choice: conversion to Islam or decapitation. The children replied, "No, we love Yeshua," the Arabic name for Jesus. "We have always followed Yeshua." The choice was put to them again, and the children again chose Jesus. All 4 were immediately beheaded. I don't cite this example just for its shock value. I cite it to illustrate the mindset. It is not just a mindset of murder. It is a mindset of extermination, especially in parts of Syria and Iraq. Christian communities that predate the arrival of Islam by centuries are being eradicated. Radical Muslims, whether Sunni or Shiite, are not only killing or driving out Christians, they are systematically erasing every trace of Christian presence. That's genocide. Christians slaughtered by evil feel abandoned by humanity, forsaken by the world's conscience, and rendered dead by the apathy of the United Nations. Almost exactly 100 years ago, on April 24th, 1915, the first genocide of the 20th century began. On that date, the Islamic Turks commenced their campaign of deportation, murder, and starvation against Christian Armenians. Next week, as we observe that solemn anniversary, we should remember the repeated failure of the world community to act against genocide, even in the face of overwhelming evidence, and contemplate what can we do to stop genocide occurring under our watch. The world needs to be awakened to the fact that this is not just a matter of persecution of Christians. It is not an issue of right and left, of conservative or liberal, nor is it an American, French, British, Danish, Canadian, or Australian issue. It is one that encompasses all of us, including moderate Muslims. Radical Islamists seek to subjugate everyone who does not adhere to their version of religion. Just because we are not at war with radical Islam does not mean that radical Islam is not at war with us.
This information from her own voice, her life. Jehovah's Witnesses, the only crime that you're being persecuted is you knocking on people's doors with a false teaching, false Christ, and a false God named Jehovah. That is your crime. And you know something? Truthfully, people don't like false gods. People don't like to sacrifice their children to a false god, just like Islam is killing people for not joining their religion. Jehovah's Witnesses, you are being murdered by the WatchTower. They are letting you die for their religion they formed from Judge Rutherford, which he denounced just about all Charles T. Russell's teaching. You don't hear of Bible students being persecuted, Jehovah's Witnesses. You only hear yourselves being persecuted. I hear more about you on the news, the media, YouTube, articles in the newspapers, how y'all being destroyed by the media of your child molesting, and y'all fail to protect the children in your congregation. Are y'all being persecuted? No. Y'all are being set up by the WatchTower believing y'all are being persecuted, but y'all are not being persecuted for being a Christian. You're being persecuted because of your false doctrine, just like Islam, the Muslims, are going around killing the true Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses, y'all not Christians. Your watchtower is murderers, pedophiles, and as many members have raped, killed your own members. And I remember reading something about a sister taking a brother to somewhere. He pulled a gun out, took her out in the woods. I'm not going to get into the main details because it was horrible. He killed her. And she was married to someone else. Your watchtower has been turning y'all into murderers, just like Islam. It's time to wake up and do your research. Otherwise, y'all gonna go around killing anyone proposing y'all from your God Jehovah. And truthfully, that could happen. Because if your governing body decided to wipe out all non-Jehovah's Witnesses or ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, anyone that's taking their money away from them, that could happen. So please, wake up before it's too late. Thank you, and have a nice day.